How do you reckon your team's going each way?
Oh no, we're not. We're clearly not dealing with it, and we're not creating enough of it. So we're off in both areas, which causes you, and mainly, probably a bit more tonight. I mean, we were in a game last week right to the end. We still didn't win it, but I thought at the end it was the pressure that probably told on us. Be it a small margin, tonight was a bigger margin, and that was more decisive tonight, and it revealed itself again more, and it always does. It's what happens. You find out more about it, everything, when you lose than when you win.
So why has it become an issue with Port now? I mean, you seem to soak up pressure so well and actually deliver it in the past 2 years in a very good way.
Oh, and I think we're finding the opposition at the start of the year have been all over us, and they're two quality sides. I don't get mixed up in that too much. I think that coming into the games, you knew that they were going to need your absolute best to win it, and we were way off our best tonight. So that's why we got the result we got.
Is that more Sydney's doing, or was that your doing? Or how do you...
Oh no, you talk about the opposition. You got to acknowledge the opposition. They were fierce tonight at us, and I thought we were handling a bits of it okay. Some of the stuff we were going okay, but when they were there to be won, they cleared a couple that you just sat back and said, yeah, that's a pretty polished team playing against you who have been together for a long time, and they understand that playing top sides you have to actually perform like a top side.
See, when you talk about brave footy and you want it to be high risk, there's also that real high risk of turnovers, and they showed again tonight. So where are they?
I'm not going to stop going there. We'll be okay. We're still going to keep going to that place, and we have to keep going to that place. But you just got to be able to do it under the best pressure, and we haven't been able to do it under the best pressure. And I think it was 52 odd points they scored from turnover out of their 92.
I think that was the lowest score under your coaching, Ken. Do you just put that down to what we've just been talking about, the pressure and just Sydney being a good team?
Oh, Sydney defended us really well. They defended up their back 50. They defended it unbelievably well. We had 62 entries. They just defended it so well, and I give them great credit for that. They handled real pressure. We put a bit of pressure on them in our forward 50. They had numbers there to support them, but they were able to be composed enough with those numbers to use them to their advantage. And they were prepared to take. I think they were prepared to take millimetres tonight. Not so much. We talk about inches. I thought they were prepared to take millimetres.
When you're talking about pressure, everyone's talking about pressure. What are you talking about specifically? What kind of acts? What kind of...
Oh, look at the tackle count. Yep. That alone, that's enough to say, well, there's 20-odd, 30 more tackles than us. And last week we delivered the tackles and still, you've got to deliver that sort of work rate every game. And if you don't, tackles, contested ball, all the things that everyone knows what the key stats are, and we got belted in key stats tonight in the contest.
And it's frustrating, no doubt, as a coach when you've been drilling that into them ever since last week. So why wasn't it brought?
Just wasn't there. They just didn't. They were outworked by the opposition in that space. Not outworked outside. They were outworked inside. We know that that the best sides. We will watch them week in, week out. We watch Hawthorn, we watch Fremantle, we watch Sydney, we watch those sides, and everyone wants to elevate other teams into that space when they're not quite ready to take that space. And at the moment, we're one of those teams that people talk about. We've got a lot of work to do, and we understand that, and we'll continue to work hard at it. But we're certainly not disillusioned with where we're at. We understand the quality of the competition we're trying to catch.
So you think the hype around Port doesn't actually match the reality?
Oh, results will say that in the first 2 rounds, so that's fact. And
was that before these last 2 rounds?
Oh no, we're a very strong football club and football team, and we'll stick to the challenge, and there's no doubt about that. We welcome the expectation part. That's not an issue. It's just been, you have to be able to deliver, and we haven't been able to deliver the first 2 weeks. But I'm not going to say it too many more. We've played good teams, and we haven't been able to stand up to their pressure. At the start of this year, we haven't got it right against real pressure, and that's something that we have to acknowledge, and we have to be prepared to work hard in that space to get it back.
And how do you review Jared Redden 2 years out and then goes into a contest like that one? How do you measure up his game?
Oh no, he battled in a contest, but we knew there was a bit of that in Reddo. We wanted to give some support to Paddy and try to work some other parts of our game around that, but we didn't get it tonight. We didn't get what we wanted, but we know that hopefully going forward that you know, we'll have a 2-ruck system through the year, and that's one of the changes to our team at the moment. We're still trying to figure that out yet.
When a side is defending as well as this one's did, and like you said, they're taking millimetres, what's going through your head? I mean, when you can't score, how do you sort of try and get around?
Well, it's the biggest zapper of confidence you can get when you continually push it into your forward 50 and you don't hit the score. But I'm a big believer that you have to continue to get score going a bit to keep growing all the other parts of your game. Because once it dries up, you feel like everything's just so hard to do, and that's what we did tonight. And that's Sydney. They, as I said, they just defended their back 50 incredibly well.
So when a side does that, is it inevitable? Is loss inevitable?
You're going to lose if they're able to defend like they did tonight. And don't forget, they've got some power at the other end going forward. So, you know, as I said, they just played their style of football that they wanted to play tonight so well, and I give credit to them.
Ken, did you get trapped into playing too short?
Too short.
Too many short kicks?
No, but it is the second week in a row where we've taken over 100 marks, and we've had that discussion. Is marking the ball too many times a problem? I don't know, but right now our numbers would suggest that we were kicking the ball a bit too short. But as again, you go back to our longer entries, they just outnumbered us. So they covered us in most areas, I think, in all over the ground, which is great credit.
Is the intense contest that you had last week and that trip to Perth, is that a mitigating factor
No.
at all?
No, not at all. We're fresh. It's the start of the season. Everyone's fresh. We look forward to the contest. We're up to play against the good teams. We know we've got to be up again to play against the Kangaroos next week. So they're excuses. We don't deal in them.
What do you do with 0 and 2? How do you look at that on a premiership ladder?
Oh, you just got to go to work again, and you've got to turn back up, and you've just got to make sure that you're doing everything you can to improve. And there's no, I mean, you sit in the room right now, you'd say, well, there was a significant opportunity or a chance that this score, we could be faced with what we're faced with right now. And we're not happy about that, but we're going to try our absolute best to turn that around next week. Starting next week, we're going to try and get that win that we need.
Do you think you'll have a lot of you next week?
We're hopeful, but we don't know. That's the 100% honest truth. He trained yesterday a bit more and run okay, so we just can't afford to take a big risk because he's got a thigh injury that if you do, it could turn into 8 weeks, and we just don't want to do that.
What about you, Dick?
Hamstring, so he'll be an out. You know, he was going to be a little bit of a miss for us, but we have got some good form underneath, which is really important for us going forward. You know, the Magpies played really well last night. A number of players put their hand up, and you know we're going to need a couple of them.
So your first 2 seasons, the team has made flying starts after 5 and 0, and then getting to a lump. How do you feel they'll respond to 0 and 2 and having to now work from behind within West Coast?
Well, it's just interesting because we've had some slumps in the first couple of years too, and we've gone 5-0, 0 and 5, and then last year we lost that patch in the middle. So we've faced these slumps before, but you're right. The real pressure comes at the start of the year when you haven't got the cushion, the buffer that you need, and I think the start of the season is incredibly important. So I think it builds your season, you build momentum. You see that all the time, and you see clubs who have already started building momentum this year, and it becomes hard to stop sometimes.
The issue with Broadbent's ribs, it looked like?
No, I think he got more his hip, to be honest. He got a bit of a whack on the hip, but he got through the game pretty well and played pretty strong. At the start, when he did hurt it, we were a little bit worried, but he managed to get through okay.
And Robbie Gray with that ankle?
Yeah, both okay. I mean, there's plenty of bruises. I've got to tell you, there's plenty of bruises, and that was because of Sydney. They whacked us around a bit tonight, and that's what they do well to sides most of the time.
Can you go back to what you said at the beginning about the opposition's all over us? Does that become read as they've worked you out and now you've got to find something?
No, I reckon that's... People always want they work you out or they figure you out. They just play good footy against you, and you know we'll still play good footy and we'll still be a good side throughout the year. But at the moment we've lost 2 games against quality opposition, and they deserve clearly to have won both those games, and more so tonight. They got us in most parts of the game that we rate, and we don't rate the outside run as much as everyone thinks about it. We rate the inside stuff, and we just haven't got that right.